let's stay out east and stay in Brooklyn. Go to New York. Brooklyn spent most of their time this season in clear rebuilding mode. CJ finishing 20-62, good for 13th in the East, while trying to sort through a year of a young roster and long-term pieces out of that mesh. The Nets averaged just 105.9 points per game and shot 34% from three and finished 30th in offensive rating at 108.2, which made it hard for them to stay competitive over a full 82 game season. We saw the Nets even have a little blip. Remember, for a month or so, they were on that win streak. Yep. They were guarding extremely well, and sort of like Chicago, it fell off the course of the earth, which was their goal. Obviously, they were one of the tankers. So defensively, they were not much better either, posting a 118.2 defensive rating and a minus 10.1 net rating. So even their better effort nights usually came with a very small margin for error. Michael Porter Jr. was easily their top offensive option this season, though. CJ having a career year, averaging 24.2 points, 7.1 rebounds, and 3 assists in 52 games, giving Brooklyn at least one dependable source of scoring. Rookie guards Nolan Traore and Yegor Denham showed some real promise as playmakers too. Traore averaged 8.9 points and 3.8 assists in 56 games. He started to hoop at the end of the year. Him, Danny Wolf, and Yegor Denham, bro, that's a good little pick. That's some good picks right there. They didn't explode, but still, like, I saw a lot of bright spots from Nolan Traore. The assists, something that I know he can work on, but there were times where he would have a double-double. He'd have like 12 and 10, so he had a couple great games. Also, Philly rookie guard Yegor Denham added 10 points, 3.3 assists, and 3.2 rebounds in 52 games. Yegor Denham also got to 153 pointers made. He was a top 10 in rookie three-pointers made, and also showcased his ability to pass and score, and just a very interesting piece. To me, he was their best pick in the last couple years. So shout out to them. I feel like they hit on some of their backcourt picks, which is good. The Nets, if you guys don't know, had 5 first-round picks, the most that we had seen in, I think, ever. So hopefully they could hit on a couple players. But Noah Clowney and Nick Claxton also gave them useful developmental pieces up front in their front court. Clowney averaged a career best 12.3 points and 4.1 rebounds in 66 games. But overall, this was still a team that lacked enough efficiency and structure. The Nets lacked creation to win consistently. The biggest step for Brooklyn next season is pretty straightforward, to be honest. They need their young guards to keep growing, and they need to find a real offensive identity, because their defense isn't going to be enough to carry a team that struggled this badly to score. And that's the issue with the Nets. Their defense, finishing 30th in offensive rating, doesn't bode well. Obviously, they have the pieces to be able to score, like I just mentioned, MPJ and Yegor Denham and Danny Wolf and Nick Claxton, but they haven't been able to put it all together. Now, as a Brooklyn fan, I don't want them to. They weren't trying to win and go to the playoffs this season. They need those lottery picks. They need to ensure, obviously, the New York Knicks trade, the McCall Bridges thing, Cam Johnson too, because the Nuggets will have to pay for that as well. But they have a lot of incoming draft picks that they're looking forward to capitalizing on, and winning right now, it does not fit that timeline. It doesn't make sense for them to win if they want lottery picks and they want to be in that situation. So as a Brooklyn fan, I'd have to rate this season a 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10, because to be completely honest with you, expectations wise, they had a great month. For a month, they were top 3 in net rating and defensive. As a Brooklyn fan, I'd be like, hey, that's a win for me. Watching Yegor Denham before he went down with that injury, of course, poor him. But before he went down with that injury, he was having a great year. And MPJ, the fact that we were able to get MPJ for cents on the dollar, and Cam Johnson isn't bearing fruit in Denver. Hey, you got to be happy with the core of Nick Claxton, Denham, and MPJ for right now. If they get a top 5 pick, man, top 3, and they grab a Debonce, a Peterson, a Caleb Wilson, a Boozer, that's going to change the outlook of this team. So I don't have any problems with their season. I understand it from a outside perspective. If you're new to three-man weave, you're like, what the heck? They suck. Why are you saying they had a good year? Well, they had a good year just based off their balance sheet. Their balance sheet's healthy. They have one of the cleanest balance sheets in the NBA, and also some of the most picks. The Nets are not a struggle team, even though it looks like they're struggling.
Yeah. No, yeah, you said it perfectly, man. I'll probably give it like a 7,
Yeah,
like you
exactly.
said, with what they were trying to do with the timeline that they're at, with all the picks that they have incoming. it just is a rebuild at this point, and I think they've embraced that. They have, obviously, like you just mentioned, 5 rookies that they just drafted in this, in the first round of this last draft. So rebuild year, seeing who's going to be the guy that is going to stick around on this roster. And like you said, Yegor Denham and Nolan Traore were looking incredible. And then MPJ, like you just mentioned, he was the bright spot. He was a great pickup for them. That, trading Cam Johnson and MPJ is looking like y'all won that deal as of this
for
moment.
real.
Obviously didn't contribute to wins, but you really weren't wanting that. You were wanting, MPJ to be able to do what he was doing in Denver at a higher level, and he was able to contribute that for y'all. So bright spots, looking forward to the future if I'm a Nets fan too. So, y'all can potentially get a franchise altering player in this draft. So if y'all get top
For
3,
real.
top 5, even, it'll anything will help them at this point. And this draft is so deep. So shout out to Brooklyn. Like you said, if you see it, not winning a lot of games, one of the worst teams in the league. But for where they're at, we take that into consideration a lot. And
Exactly.
they had a successful season in our eyes for them.